Little Sponge is back with his parents, trying to prove he's not a kid anymore and ready to show off. He laid out a whole day of plans, only to find out they still see him as their little baby talk about dilemma. Mom and Dad were living the same old life in the community until one day the house decided to resemble a pumpkin bun and fell to pieces. So they moved to Little Sponge's as sponsors while he dressed up for fun. Little Sponge was thrilled at first to hear his parents were moving in, but then remembered they hadn't met for ages. Worried that his parents would think he's too childish, he decided to put on a mature facade. Why worry them? He began a big cleanup, but along the way, his buddy Big Dog kept goofing around, his mind filled with cute animal Easter eggs in the comment section. As soon as his parents walked in, Little Sponge looked like a fashionable little monster with a pipe in his mouth, blowing a kiss to Mom awkwardness level max. This is probably the reality for most kids and parents, as Little Sponge planned an entire day's agenda to seem grown up, no fun, just biz, and bedtime was set for 4 p.m. sharp. Dad wasn't thrilled, but Mom gave Little Sponge his due respect. The clock was ticking. With wide eyes, Mom and Dad were tucked in. Little Sponge offered milk and music, too good to be true. Just then, Squidward's phone rang right on cue, and Little Sponge went all out, educating him to look mature. Squidward was left dumbfounded. What was going on? Dad felt the sun was turning soft. This life was unbearably dull. Dad proposed a little fun, and Mom had her eyes on that suggestion. They sneaked out for a night on the town, returning home tipsy well past curfew. Little Sponge, who had already waited impatiently for a long time, thought the scene was simply suspicious as expected. It made his parents worry to the extreme. They decided to take Little Sponge out for a taste of real nightlife, starting with a visit to Squidward's. Mom chucked toilet paper on the roof, while Little Sponge pretended to be bored, but he was really in a tizzy inside. Dad was not amused, forcing Little Sponge out of the car to play while his parents burst out laughing and made a hasty retreat to total chaos. Then they hit up the wildest masked wrestling arena, where Dad and Mom went there to watch, but to compete. How insane. Little Sponge was too terrified to look as his parents threw down on stage. His nerves were on fire. Furious, Little Sponge rushed up with a box, only to find no one. Mom and Dad were cheering from the sidelines. Before Little Sponge could comprehend the situation, the Grim Reaper lunged at him. The tension was palpable. Little Sponge instinctively yelled for his parents, but they pulled him back just as the fight was about to turn serious. Turns out the Grim Reaper was just Big Dog, yet he couldn't answer. Little Sponge felt mixed emotions. Next up was the skating rink, where Mom and Dad went wild on the boards. It was a full-blown party. Little Sponge chased closely behind, worrying about his parents' safety, skated right past the amusement park. Late at night, his parents returned home happy while Little Sponge was in tears. What a night. Little Sponge finally burst out, explaining that he just wanted to act mature and not worry his parents. But you guys are just reveling in the fun. Little Sponge seems to always feel a little bit of knees deep in its heart.